trying to decipher what I wanted out of my next career move was Vancouver just stayed, and they were the only team that really pushed and really made me feel like I was wanted. The other ones, like I said, were just saying, okay, well, yeah, we'd like you to come, and we'll fly you out and see if you like the city, but we can't really promise you anything. And Vancouver's, I knew they were coming into the league. I knew of Vancouver from my cousins. My cousin lived here. I have friends. One of my good friends still lives here now. Been talking to the right people, and they just said how amazing the place was alone as a city and what it represents. And then they called me and was just said, can we fly you out and you can take a look and you can meet Bob Lenarduzzi and Paul Barber and the guys that are running the club. And I just thought, why not? It's not going to hurt. I could come back and still doesn't mean I'm making a decision, but it's something that's important to me. And
that's how we work together.
Your stories, like from what I've gathered and what I've learned about you in the last couple of days, I've been trying to do some research. It seems extremely inspirational, and for me, I'm trying to gather like what type of support did you have going through this whole process? Like, did your family play a big part? Was it your friends? Was it your drive for success? Was it just the freedom? Like, what was it that made you say, look, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do anything I can to do it?
Sure, that's a very good question. Well, first off, yeah, I have an amazing family who've always supported me in anything I've done. You'll see I've done nothing but play sports my whole life, and I've been educated in other ways as well. Like, my education was important. My parents made sure I went to college and went for the right reasons, not just to play sports. And they didn't really. I've always been a kid like that, though. I've always just kind of done my own thing, and they recognized that early on, and just let me go and do my own thing. But I suppose if you don't have success in that, then they'll give you shit for it. But for me, I was able to really kind of figure it out in my own head. And maybe it comes from a certain drive or a certain idea of the way I believe things should be. But it's that. I think it's just, when you have that support, it's so much easier to go out and go for things, because you know that if you fail, that not much else is going to change. You can just change your attitude or change what you're trying to do, your new goal. And I knew once I had a degree and once I had my family support or my friend support, that I can go do it. Because I can always come home. I can always change something else or refocus on a different thing that I now want to do. What do I see, or what do I feel like my role is? My role is to be, a mentor for some of the guys that might not have the experience that I do. To take guys and try to help them learn and keep the right mentality. The English Soccer League is great because it really teaches you how to fight for the right reasons, I suppose. It's just the English mentality of being kind of a edgy or hard-nosed and not really fluffy about stuff. And you either sink or swim over there, and it was a huge part of my education as a soccer player. It's just how to learn from the ups and downs and be tough about it and not feel sorry for yourself or blame it on coaches or blame it on your teammates, because they don't allow you to do that. Over there in England, kids are training with us when they're 15, 16 years old. But they don't turn pro until they're 18, unless they're Wayne Rooney type people. And they're treated like they're kids. They're not treated like they're superstars. And it's such a good thing for kids that are trying to educate themselves on a big level. And you ask internationals, or you ask guys that have played for clubs like Man United and the big clubs in this world, and they'll tell you the same thing. These 16-year-olds walk around and they won't even look you in the eye. I've done a couple of things with Mark Weber, who writes for the province, and he's trying to push that. The up-and-comer. It's a lot of pressure for a 17-year-old to handle, and his support system has to be right on, because if you lead these guys in the wrong way and make them and convince them that they're better than they are as a 17-year-old, then they're going to find themselves being the same exact kid when they're 23, 24, and they're going to miss a lot of their own potential. I really like getting out of my comfort zones, and I knew that I was constantly out of my comfort zone so I can learn more about myself. Every time I got out of my comfort zone and had a new experience, it always turned into something more positive, and it only kept getting better. And I was like, well, if it's only going to get better, yeah, this time I'm staying in a one-bedroom apartment in an attic, but next week I'm staying at my cousin's friend's who has a bed. That's a positive, right? And you go and it's the next thing, and then all of a sudden you find yourself playing in a field with 2 people and a dog in a field, literally next door to a sheep farm. And 2 months after that, you're playing in a non-league game where there's 100 people there. You're going, all right, well, I'm moving in the right direction. And then nothing ever came to me, the fact of saying, you're not doing it right, or you're not doing it anymore, you shouldn't keep going.
Hey, so what did you think?
Well, it'll be awesome when they get to license that footage, but it's a great story because it transcends sport and doesn't have a narrow focus. It's about things that are generally cliche, like the power of human will and self-empowerment and stuff. And we all know those are cliche for a reason because it's true. And if you want to be the best at something, you got to work really hard. So, yeah, great film.
Amazing story. Inspirational, phenomenal. Real rags to riches kind of experience. But yeah, and it'll make me appreciate watching him play that much more, He's a sound guy, really down to earth too. Yeah, 2 thumbs up.
It was really good, very enjoyable, great story, and good luck to Jay. What do you think?
Great.
Welcome to the Northsiders.
Welcome to the Northsiders.